Pinulata is a dessert that is on top of any Sicilian's table. You'll find it in our homes all through the holiday season. Pinulata is one of those things. When you taste it, you die and you go to heaven. Let me show you how easy it is to prepare. Go to your local bakery. This is a durum wheat flour, which is really semolina flour. So to this durum wheat flour, we're going to add 1 egg at a time. So here we go. And of course, we really don't want shells in our Pinulata. So very simple. Same fork. Simple as that. I'm going to add it to the middle. With your fork, we're going to, in a circular motion, just keep going around and around. Every once in a while, you're going to dip into the sides and pull into your egg mixture a little of the durum wheat flour. Okay, so you can see our dough is starting to form. It's getting a lot thicker. That was 2 eggs. Now we're going to add another egg. Just going to keep going at this until it's all incorporated. So as you can see, the sides of your well, the walls are getting lower and lower. Our dough is getting bigger and bigger, which is exactly what we want. To the side here, I have a ½ cup of flour in case I need it. Time to put down the fork and get our hands dirty. Now, we don't want to overwork it, we just want to get it all together. And you never know the size of your eggs, what your dough, how much flour it's actually going to need. So you can see right now, this dough really isn't picking up a lot of the flour that's left on the counter, and that is just fine. And I can feel the dough coming together. It's elastic, it's soft. Once you get your flour incorporated, I'm going to say that it's about 3 minutes of kneading, no more than that. What I'd like to do now is, you have a bowl all prepared with about 2 tablespoons of La Spagnola oil. We're going to put the dough into the bowl, and we're just going to toss it around just to coat it. So the next stage is we're just going to break off a piece. There's no right or wrong amount, whatever you feel comfortable working with. What I like to do is kind of start the rolling process in my hand. Feel the dough. You're pushing down in the middle and out to the sides like this. And that's how you will stretch your dough. You're starting in the middle, you're rolling, pulling it out. So here we're going to use our pastry scraper, and we're going to cut bite-sized pieces. Okay, now remember, these are going to blow up. You don't want to cut the pieces too big. We're going to cut them. This is my trick. Grandma never did this. This works fantastic. Use cooking spray. After you've cut them, give them a spray. Use your pastry scraper. Scoop it up and put it onto a prepared tray with your La Spagnola oil. This will prevent them from sticking to each other, and when they get dropped into the oil, even if they look like they're stuck together now, when they get into the oil, they'll separate easily. Using my pastry scraper, I'm going to pick up a bunch, and I'm going to put them into this is cold oil. We're starting with cold oil, we will finish with hot oil. We're just going to stir these around. You can see some of them look like they're stuck together, but they will separate. Do not panic. Okay, at this point you can see that the oil is starting to move in the pan. A couple of the pieces are starting to float. We're going to start stirring. You want to keep them moving around the pan so that they don't just brown on the bottom. You want to keep them moving, and they'll be golden all the way around. You can see now they're all floating at this point, so things are going to start happening quickly. You can hear the oil's really hot at this point, sizzling. The Pinulata pieces are growing. They're puffing up so nice. They're really tender inside. You don't want to overcook them. If you overcook them and they're too dark in color, they're very crunchy. That's not the texture that we want inside. They should be very flaky inside. I have prepared 2 brown paper grocery bags. One is inside of the other. It's very important to have that ready before you start frying, because once these are cooked, we're going to ladle them out right into the bag. We're going to give it a shake, and that's a great way to get the excess oil out of our Pinulata pieces. We can start to see some of the pieces are turning that little bit of pink color. That means stir. That's what that means. When you start to see that color, stir. You want them all to try to get that color. Moving them around the oil really helps. This is when you cannot leave the Pinulata. You need to stay by, you need to be stirring, constantly looking. We're almost ready. Like I said, I have my brown grocery bag on hand. Here's the color that we're looking for. That is cooked perfectly. Give it one last stir. Now I'm going to start to put these right into my bag. See, this is why the spider spatula really helps at this point. Right into the bag. At this point, we're going to give it a shake. Okay. So the first step we're going to do in putting our Pinulata all together, it's been in the bag, we've changed the bag, paper bag a few times, the oil has all been absorbed, it's ready to go. We have 1 16-ounce jar of light Kayo syrup. I'm going to add that to our bowl. And to that Kayo syrup, we are going to add 2 cups of honey. We're going to give it a quick stir. Okay, so here we are, all mixed. Now I'm going to bring over our cooked Pinulata pieces. We're going to add this honey and Kayo mixture to it. I'm going to toss that in, coating all the pieces. It's all coated nicely. Next thing we're going to do, we are going to add some fresh ganida. Here's our cinnamon. And now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of fresh ganida. I have 2 cups of walnuts that I have placed on a cookie sheet under the broiler, watching it, stirring it often, only takes a couple of minutes. So here we have 2 cups of almonds that I've blanched in hot water for about 1 to 2 minutes. You'll see that the skin starts to swell. Drain the almonds in a colander, rinse them with cold water that helps speed up the process instead of waiting for them to cool. Just going to pinch them with your finger on the back side, not the pointy side, and the skin just pops right off. It slides right off, and then you have a cleaned almond. You're going to place these almonds on a cookie sheet and put those under the broiler just until, again, they turn this little golden with a hint of pink color. We have 1 very large Hershey's chocolate bar with almonds cut up into bite-sized pieces. So all we're going to do is add all these ingredients right into our bowl. Now we're going to toss again. Okay, so everything is coated. Now at this point, you can leave this in an airtight container and plate it as you need it throughout the holiday season. This will last for at least 2 weeks in an airtight container. So I'm just going to mound it up into a bowl of your choice. Oops, we lost a few pieces. And it's really pretty when you mound it up high because it sticks together. You can see the chocolate, the walnuts, the almonds, the Pinulata. Every bite, it's a different texture, a little different flavor. They all work well together. I don't know who came up with this recipe, but it's definitely to die for delicious. We're just going to dress it, put our last finishing touches on it because of course it needs a little bit more sugar, right? There was not enough Kayo, not enough honey. We're going to add a few more jimmies on top just to make sure it looks like Christmas, it looks festive. So there you go. Pinulata, not so hard once you walk through all the steps. So soft on the inside, perfectly cooked. You can taste the fresh ganida, the honey, it's just delicious. You just have to try it.